Welcome back to the show, everyone. Of course, a little bit of irony involved in today because it was revealed that The Bachelor is coming to do a Canadian edition, and our next guest has written a marvelous book just about and around the whole reality genre.
Oh, and it is a strange, strange world. And thankfully, Shannon Nering lived to tell the tale. She's joining us now, the author of a great book you'll want to read called Reality Jane. How are you?
Hi, Shannon. How are you?
You survived.
I survived. I made it out alive. I'm here. Kiss the ground. Kiss the ground.
Because this is, I mean, it's a fictional, it's a work of fiction, but this is based, as all great works of fiction tend to be, on things that you've experienced in your life and in your career.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it's extrapolated from things I've either heard of or seen or witnessed or been a part of somehow, and then it's been tossed in a blender and mixed up with my imagination.
And the reality genre, we all know what it is now, but when did you find yourself in the first situation, working-wise, that you were working on a reality show? Because before, when everybody didn't know what it really was the weirdest thing.
It was the weirdest thing.
So what was your first project, and how did you feel?
In 1999, I got myself to LA. Long story, but I got there and I was producing on a show called Living Better with Carrie Wyatt. And it was a lifestyle show, but from there, it's sort of all the jobs around me that were available were reality TV.
Yeah.
And I remember dying to be on Temptation Island. Seriously, what's wrong with me?
Forgot about that show.
It's such a good show. Take couples. Will they live? Will they
cheat?
Yeah.
Will they not?
What a horrible concept.
Yeah.
But I was so fascinated by it. I was like, really? Like, really? I need to see how this works.
Well, I think this is why the book really works as well, because your main character, Jane, goes in there and she has no idea what she's in for. I mean, it really is sort of, you know, she's a good Canadian girl and she goes down and she's thrown into this situation where people are behaving in ways that just boggle the mind. But this is what has become normal now.
It's become normal. We've come to accept it. But for poor little Jane, who was very pie-eyed and naive.
She's an idealist.
And she was an idealist, and definitely.
She's
and
Canadian.
I mean,
yeah, I want to change the world. I want to, you know, like.
I want to improve these people and make them better people, honest people. But, you know, this is a business. Reality TV is a business. It was built to be a business. It's a cheap form of television. Not so cheap anymore. The shows are getting more expensive. The longer they stay on the air, the more money they throw into them once they see they're successful. But it's a business model, and it's a model that really works.
And as a television producer, in the real world, you got yourself to LA, you got yourself working on these shows. This is what everybody that is in this business aspires to do in the place that you want to do it, in Hollywood. But you wanted to get out. What was it that made you move back here? And you're successful here as well, but everybody wants to be in LA. Why did you come back?
Everybody asked me when I moved back here, and I hadn't lived here for long before. I'm actually from Calgary. But everybody's like, you lived in LA? Why'd you move back here?
Right.
Why?
Good old Canadian identity crisis, right?
Yeah.
Why would you?
Totally. Like, why are you here? Are you serious?
This place.
Like,
what do you like? The mountains, the forest, the ocean? What's wrong with
fresh air? Come on. But yeah, I mean, it is the place to make yourself, to make it or break it. And I guess what I saw was enough. And I saw that maybe I don't need to make it, or maybe I feel I already have.
When did the book start? Did that start when you moved back here, or was the seeds of it always sort of...
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you work in this type of business, I'm sure you guys have to, like, write stuff down just as a cathartic thing to do to keep yourself grounded and sane.
No kidding.
So I was always kind of journaling about my experiences, and I found them so unbelievable, like just so unbelievable. And so, you know, you write it down, and then the thoughts that go through your mind when you're on an airplane for a job, and you're like endlessly on an airplane for a job, and it's like, if I die on this airplane, that would really suck because I haven't done what I need to do.
I've got a great book inside of me. So it really was, I mean, catharsis to write something like this and use this fiction to sort of just get it all out there.
Yeah, it was cathartic at first, and then it became frustrating, and then it became fun. Once I saw what this book needed to be, which was chick lit, it's the perfect vehicle for this kind of material.
It's a fun read, yeah, absolutely.
Did you know we gotta laugh at ourselves, don't we? We'll go crazy if we
don't. And you have to laugh at this business too. Now you're involved with a project that we have to be kind of careful what we say. You worked on The Real Housewives of Vancouver. People know that it's coming here.
Yeah.
What can you say about that experience?
I can say, watch it. Watch the show.
Watch the show.
It's going to be brilliant. The characters are amazing. The women are hilarious and fun and outrageous, out of this world. big personalities. That's what we always look for when we're casting a show, and that's what we try and draw out of people.
And I'm not talking about this specifically, but I mean, how much of reality is in reality now? I mean, how much of it is real and how much of it is just
This might sound kind of lofty, but I consider myself a bit of an anthropologist when I'm out there. And my goal, at least, I think everyone's different, but my goal when I'm out there is to try and pull the truth out. You know, and believe it or not, I know you're kind of like, but really, I want to know what's your truth. Like, who are you? What are your personality extremes? The best you and the worst you. I don't want just the best you, and I definitely don't want neutral you.
And you've worked on some interesting shows, including that one. But how, as a producer, director, whatever your guys is at the time, how do you control those situations when they are going absolutely bananas? Because as people read in the book, you've had some very unique and strange experiences with reality shows. How do you control it without it going completely sideways?
Well, sometimes it goes against instinct, right? It's the cameraman that shoots the fire. Does he run in and save the people in the building?
Or does he shoot fire?
Or do you get the news and realize other people are saving the situation? It's kind of the same thing. It's a form of documentary. You know, experimental sort of documentary situation, and so you got to sit back and let things happen and see if they can solve it. That said, if it gets dangerous, you have to step in.
But there's a fascinating aspect to the character, and I would assume that this echoes, you know, your career as well, in that there's a great art of interviewing and being inquisitive and asking the right questions at the right time. That really is, it's a unique skill set that some people have.
I know, and people think that they can just walk in and do our job.
Yeah.
But the truth is, like, building up, being a confident interviewer and being able to pull out people's truth takes a lot of work, a lot of experience, and then getting them to say it in a way that makes sense, a bit of a soundbite. Right?
Sometimes they ask 3 different ways,
we come at it from all sides, and we can't
It's
let
like
them...
interrogating.
It's like interrogating.
You gotta get what you want.
That's the CSI side of it, the private eye, right? But yeah, you take it from all sides. And
well,
what a great book.
Real Housewives of Vancouver, when can people see it?
End of March. It's kind of like a moving date, but that's when to start looking for it, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure you look for it in the spring. And make sure that you pick up this book. It is, whether you're in the TV biz or not, just a fun read. Absolutely hilarious if you want to know more about what it's like to work in the world of reality TV.
And you can't just call it chick lit. I dug it. I thought it was awesome.
Career lit. It's kind of career lit.
Career lit. There you go. That makes me feel a little bit better about liking chick lit. So there we go. We're going to take a break.
You're still manly.
When we come back, Brian.
Thank you, Fiona. Brian Scudamore.